Welcome to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show on 94.7 The Pulse. Music, interviews, news, and, well, Two Blokes Chatting. Now, here are the two blokes.
I'm coming home, I'm coming home.
That is No Promises, and their brand new single released yesterday called Coming Home, and Rob has forgotten to turn his phone off. That's always good radio, isn't it? So we'll try that again because Janine will want to actually put this onto their website, so let me try that again. That's No Promises there with their new song Coming Home, which was released yesterday. We actually have Janine from No Promises on the phone. Good morning to you, Janine.
Good morning. How are you both?
Well, I'm doing okay, but Rob's forgotten to turn his phone off, but that's okay.
Better now, all fixed.
I thought you'd be not so chipper today, Neil.
Well, we've been through that already. We don't need to bring that up any more times.
The bear, Janine. Don't poke the bear.
Try not to.
Yeah, now we'll put that. That was No Promises. With no, we don't need to put that out there. You've done it again.
I hope so. Hopefully this one really breaks through this time.
I was just saying to Rob off the wireless that we've had a number of artists come along and produce some songs, including yourself and Eric, as No Promises. It's starting to sound like a really established sound now. A lot of newer artists, you know, there's that kind of, do we know who we are? And you and I have discussed this before. We're not really sure what you guys are, but you sound established at least now.
Yeah, I think we're sort of starting to find our sound now, where like with the first album it was sort of a bit of everything. We sort of just dipping our toe in the water and just, you know, a whole sort of bunch of genres. But now we seem to be going in that sort of old country blues kind of vein, I think.
Janine, the amount of profile and work you're getting, you're now at the stage where you've got a pretty solid audience that follows you around your neck of the woods as soon as they see No Promises. They're organising their social life around that? Yeah,
we're starting to get a bit of a following now, which is great. It's sort of hard around this area. There's not a lot of venues that have live music, so you're really limited to where you can go. But we're getting there, and I think over summer will be huge.
I think it's that thing that, being that you are, and for those who don't know, Eric and Janine are based in South Gippsland, about 2.5 hours drive out of Melbourne. So to get up to the Melbourne venues, it's not just a case of finding someone who wants to have you play, but you've then got to, factor in a few hours of driving. You've got to factor in accommodation typically because you're far away from home. So it becomes a really expensive thing, almost an investment in a career more so than going out to play a gig to make some money.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yep.
Yeah, Janine, just on lifestyle, we were talking to Braden O'Hanlon before, who's still playing footy and still got a job in around finding his place in music. You're probably a year or two advanced on where Braden is at, but have you had to change your normal life as your requirement around your music has increased?
Not really. I'll probably just get less housework done.
She makes a mean coffee in the main street of Foster if you go down that way.
Super proud about.
So you've got some normality still in your everyday life?
Yeah. Look, bring on the crazy, not normal side of things. I just want to get our music out there and hopefully sooner rather than later, but we'll just keep churning them out until eventually one will stick, hopefully.
Because that's all it takes.
And Eric has started to do that, becoming much more focused on his music career as his real job, if you will. I guess that's a bit like a small business operator who says, I'm almost there enough to get an office, or I'm almost there enough to employ a second person, that sort of thing. I guess it's that big step you've just got to take at some stage.
Yeah, well, we're not quite at that stage yet, but hopefully soon. But, we'd love to have a proper studio of our own, proper space to rehearse in and stuff, but for now we'll just keep plugging away.
Lounge rooms are okay, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
So there's a new album coming in November. Ironically, we've just spoken to Braden, whose album releases on the weekend of the 5th of November. It's going to be a busy weekend by the sound of things.
Oh, yeah, ours is the 4th. There you go.
So you've one-upped him there. Tell us a little bit about the album. Obviously, that song that we just heard, which is called Coming Home, is on the album.
Yeah, so there's about 12 songs on there. Coming Home wasn't even scheduled to be on that album. We actually weren't going to release any more singles, but because the album was so delayed due to COVID and everything, we decided we really needed a single before this album came out, just to give it a bit of a boost. And we were going to go with one of the ballads off the album, but we decided, we wrote this one in rehearsal like maybe 4 weeks ago, something like that. And it just came together really quickly, and it was just an easy one to record, so we thought, well, let's just throw that on the album.
Janine, question regarding the style of music and the chasing that one that works. We are exposed to new music constantly, and some work and people get these internet hits and all of a sudden they're overnight sensations. Is there a little danger with you to chase themes, or have you and Eric really sat down and said, no, this is who we are, we'll always be who we are, rather than trying to copy to get that breakthrough?
Yeah, no, we don't. We just do our own thing, and hopefully people like that. Yeah, we've always just played music that we enjoy listening to, and that's the way I write too. So I'll write the song that I want to hear, basically. You know, something that's hopefully hasn't been done before. But yeah, we write for ourselves, really, not for anyone else.
I don't think I'm telling any secrets here, Janine, to say that you and I have tried to work up some of the, I'll call them liner notes, or, you know, release notes that go with the song. One of the great challenges, Rob, is to try and put that into a box. You can't really say it's blues or it's funk or it's whatever. No. And Janine keeps ringing me and going, how about you have a crack at this one? And it's a really tough gig. It's really hard to describe, which in some respects is the sound. The sound is, it's, you know, correct, miscellaneous, as it were.
Yeah, that's right. And look, we think we've got plenty of good songs, good material to get us there, and it'll probably be the one song that we least think is going to do something that will be the one that gets us out there. I don't know. I don't know what the...
Well, that path has been beaten well before, in that someone will produce lots and lots of music, and then one will get a little bit of recognition, and all of a sudden people then start listening to all the others that they hadn't listened to before, and some gems will come out of... and I'm sure you've produced a lot of really good stuff that you think, oh, this is the one, and it hasn't, and it's maybe surprised you. But I think once your name's out there and people revisit your body of work, these gems will then pop up.
That's what we hope. So we figure, you know, sheer weight of numbers, we will just keep releasing music and eventually get there in the end. I guess you can't be ignored if you've got, you know, album after album after album out. Eventually someone has to pick up on that and hear something that they enjoy, and hopefully it gets us out there. And
I think one of the things that is unfortunate for some artists, fortunate in a funny way, but unfortunate in another way, their first song goes off and everyone goes, righto, well, let's have your second one. They go, oops, hang on a minute. And that's where the whole one-hit wonder thing comes from. But
yeah, we
definitely
don't have that problem.
No, you won't have that problem. There's a couple of blokes that came out of Queens, New York, a guy called Paul Simon and a bloke Art Garfunkel, who got together, and I think I'm right in saying that their song, which was originally known as Sounds of Silence, which I think ended up being called The Sound of Silence, that was a B-side on a single that they put out that just went nowhere, and some DJ found it and started playing it, and it took off, and that's what kicked their career off. So there's a really good example of a duo who were just out of some small town like you, New York, that managed to get onto the record label. So we'll do what we can to keep playing it, because, well, one day we might get famous because we found you.
I know you got an incredible appetite for writing new stuff, Janine, but have you gone back through what you produced already and just rejigged it a little bit to try and find that little sound?
No, not really, to be honest. I'll sort of just write them and then move on to the next one. And I've pretty much got the third and fourth album, you know, song track list kind of planned already, and you know, then a new one will come along and bump one of the others off. But not really. I'll sort of write them, move on to the next one.
Yeah, and you hear of artists saying, oh, we've got to put out an album, so I've got to go and write 3 songs. I can't imagine that that's a really good way to do it. If you've already written them and you can go, oh, actually, this one that's just come up is actually better than that one, so we'll bump that one. I guess that's got to be a better option, I would have thought.
Oh, yes, absolutely, and that's what we do too.
My favourite story about writing under pressure was the making of the Travelling Wilburys, which was George Harrison desperate to write a song for a B-side of something else that he'd already produced. His record producer said, righto, you've got to get it done by such and such. Called a couple of mates, and 48 hours later they had a 10-track album called the Travelling Wilburys. That's pretty special.
Yeah. Great album.
Yeah. So all you need to do is get 2 of the following: George Harrison, brackets deceased, Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, brackets deceased, Jeff Lynne, or Tom Petty.
Brackets
deceased. Yeah, so see how you go getting them on board, and then you'll be right. Janine, always great fun to chat to you on the wireless and to hear your new song. It's called Coming Home. Now, folks, this goes for both, not so much Braden's because his song's not out yet, but when the time comes, yes, listen to it on streaming services. Yes, listen to it on the radio, but put your hand in your pocket. It costs you $2.19 on iTunes. I'm sure it's cost similar amounts on the other platforms. $2 to you is half a cup of, well, these days, 40% of a cup of coffee.
Correct.
But it means the world to these guys as well. So please don't just stream it, buy it, because it means that, well, it's not so much about the money, it's more about the recognition and the sales and stuff. So get on board, and the new album will be out on the 4th of November. You can find out more at nopromises.com.au.
Thank you very much.
All the best, Janine. Good luck with your works.
Chat soon.
So much for your support.
No drama. Janine Garvey there from No Promises down in South Gippsland.